This is
The Interview Room.
I want to welcome everyone to the first episode of The Interview Room. This is a group of men in a Virginia prison that's coming together every day for about 30 minutes, and we just airing out everything that's on our mind. We're going to talk about prison politics, world politics, the laws, the culture, whatever comes to our minds, that's going to be the topic of the day. Nothing scripted. Everything is raw, uncut. You're hearing from real minds, people doing real time. So in these sessions that we have, we're going to hear strong minds. You can hear some brilliant minds that's trapped behind these walls. But on the other side, you're also going to hear some not so brilliant minds. You'll also hear some controversial shit. But that's going to be the fun in it. So let's get started for the first one. What are we talking about today? Today we are discussing the fact that when men come to prison, whose responsibility is it to take over for the household? Paying the bills, taking care of the wife, taking care of the kids. All the things that a man would have a responsibility to take care of on the street, we still have those responsibilities in prison. Or is it a woman's responsibility? Should she step up and take a man that's incapacitated? Should a grown man's mother be taking care of him while he's in prison because he's in prison? Those are the things that we're considering today. So, Marco, I want to look at you first. I want to know what your take is.
Well. First and foremost.
I mean, tell
first and foremost. Yeah, because you were supposed to introduce me, but you never did it. But it's Marco Polo, Polo with 2 L's, man. Yeah. But all right, run the question down to me again.
We're considering whether a man should have all the responsibilities that he has on the street, for taking care of the household, taking care of the kids.
All right. So first and foremost, once you get locked up, your responsibilities to your children don't stop, period. But it's all about the mentality. There ain't so much of a should a man do this or should a woman do this. The woman going to step up and do what she has to do. But from a man's mentality, he shouldn't feel as though, okay, now I'm locked up and, well, I can't do nothing for my kids. Part of what he should be trying to do is do something for his kids. If he doesn't have the ability to get on his grind in here and send something home, he got to give him something mentally. Can't stop being a parent, though. You got to be a parent. You got to do what you can do.
How do you do that when you don't have the same? You're not in the same position that you would be on the street. You can't go to a 9 to 5. You can't get up and go to work. You can't take care of the things. How do you do that?
Well, it's a mental thing. You got to have that mentality first and foremost. But at the end of the day, we're taught in this society, right is right, wrong is wrong, and you do the right thing and this, that, and the third. But that's not really the truth about America. America was built by criminals. The forefathers of this experiment called America was the people that was kicked out of England. The people want, Abraham Lincoln and all that shit they try to propel America to be. It was criminals that came over here first. The motherfuckers who didn't want to live under the king, they wanted to form their own shit, first and foremost. So when you understand that this country was founded on criminality, the fact of the matter is everybody break the law. You look at what Trump doing right now. No, listen to what I'm saying. Let me finish, because I'm getting to the point. Let me build up. Don't interrupt me again. But look at what Trump is doing right now. Look at how Trump is manipulating the system to his advantage. Everything this country was designed on is to walk on a thin red line. So now when you come in here, you're supposed to look for the cracks and try to exploit them to your advantage. That's what a real nigga gonna do.
Now, like you're saying, is that you're supposed to, because you're incapacitated, you can't do the things a normal person would do on the street as far as getting up and going to a 9 to 5. When you come to prison, your obligations to the law are not the same.
No. I'm not talking about the law. I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about being a man. When I first came in the system, I was 17. I've been locked up 32 years. So you do the math. I got locked up in 94. When I came into the system, I was a nigga. I was a wild animal. So I won't think if I don't have no kids too. So I could be wild and shit. But I was wild and I ain't had no responsibility. So I became a man in here. So after becoming a man and understanding things, when I go home, I want to go home to something. You know what I mean? I don't have no kids, so I don't have to worry about my kids straight. But when I go home, I want to go home to something. So I'm going to try to figure out how I can make some money in here to send home and set up for myself anyway.
Let's get a perspective from
Get rid of you.
a man who does have kids. So introduce yourself. Yeah, I'm I'm in national intelligence.
Instagram.
My Instagram. Doesn't be another topic, but question. Yeah, give me that info. Tell me who you are. I mean, if you want to.
Yeah, you lit, nigga.
Put a plug in there.
Hey, you lit, ain't you?
Plug in there, man. My name is William Baker, man.
14431.
That's it. Next question, if you want to contact. What's your take on it? Like, when you consider whose responsibility is it to take care of the normal responsibilities a man would have for his household? When you come to prison, who steps up to do it? Well, if it's looked upon me, it's your responsibility to take care of yourself. But as far as your kids on the street, I mean, the woman will have to do that because ain't nowhere in hell. I mean, me speaking, you can't take care of your people in here unless you want to do some wild shit. And if you really care about your people in here, you would think less about doing wild shit like what I'm thinking of. But, you know what I mean? For real, the woman's supposed to take care of the kids. I don't look at the mother to take care of the son. I figure you can take care of yourself. I mean, that's just me, though. So, when you say that the woman should take care of the responsibility, how long did that? Since 2019. 2019. That's some time. Have you ever came across someone who is able to take care of the responsibility? Yeah. So if that person can do it, why can't all of us? And all of us don't have platforms that certain people have. Everybody don't have the same platform. So if I was on the street and I'm the head of my household, and I'm saying that I don't have the same platform that this man has, I don't have the same abilities that this man has, so I shouldn't have those responsibilities. I should have a man take care of my household because I don't have what the next man has. I have that people. On the street is something that's called limitless. Unlimited shit you can do to make money. But in these walls, you're limited to shit. So you can't even put that in the same.
And you know, just to piggyback on what he's saying, he's speaking to what his abilities are. Everybody don't have that ability to be creative in every situation. Like, you got niggas on the street that can hustle, and then they come to prison, and these niggas ain't got no hustle. You know what I mean? You got niggas on the street, they're king in a minute, they come in here, they can't fight. Them niggas ain't gonna stand on their 2 feet. Hold on, you got another nigga, introduce him. Introduce him. He wants to chime in.
Yeah, we're gonna ask the same question
to the mic. Come to the mic.
Introduce yourself, man. We on the same topic. Go ahead, tell the world who you are.
Yo, this Deezy, man, straight from Petersburg, Virginia. Goddamn, y'all can hit me up on Mr. 556 NATO on Instagram and Facebook.
Go ahead, answer the question. So, do you think, from the standpoint of when you come to prison, is it your responsibility to raise your kids, or is it your girl's responsibility? What is your position on that?
Absolutely, you should take care of your children, no matter where you are.
All right, so how are you going to do it? How do you consider taking care of your children from this situation?
Man, make a way, man. Make a way.
Okay, and what if you can't make a way? What are other ways that you could be there for your family? Like, you know, something I see lacking in the black community right now is that, you know, these younger people raising kids now think raising their kids is giving them designer clothes and designer sneakers. What are you giving your child mentally? If you can't provide for your children financially, give them something mentally. Give them some mental nourishment. If you could do that, that's doing something.
Absolutely.
You know, everything ain't about money.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? What's lacking in our community is direction. Like, the kids don't have fathers. Little girls yearning for their daddies. That's why they running into the arms of older niggas. What you seeing right now? You know, I'm 50. And what I'm saying right now is you got these 20-year-old, 21-year-old, 22, 23, 24. They will fuck with niggas like me. And I love it.
So I'm gonna,
That's that young ass.
So I hear the different perspectives, and a couple of the different folks we got in the room right now. So I'm gonna tell you how I feel. My view is that there is no excuse whatsoever. I don't give a fuck what you got to do. If you are a man, you have a responsibility to be a man. You could put me on the moon, and at the end of the day, I'm still going to be that same person. I'm still going to be that same man. So if I have obligations on the street, then those obligations don't stop here. But if I have to finesse and figure a way out of it, then figure a way out of or around the obstacles that's in front of me, then that's just what I have to do. Because if you had obstacles on the street, let's say you on the street and the obstacles that you face as far as taking care of your responsibilities at home was you were handicapped in some way. Would you say because I'm handicapped, now I no longer have the obligation to take care of my household? No. If you can physically handicapped to the point where I can't get up and go to a 9 to 5, then what am I going to do? I'm going to go and find a job that I can work on the internet and do something behind the desk to take care of my responsibilities. There is no excuse.
Listen, you only look at it, your perspective. You only get,
but you got to speak in reality. You only get 45 cents an hour in here. So when y'all got to talk about taking care of your family, my mom, because I had a family out there and I had bills, there's no rent that 45 cents is going to do.
Again,
listen though.
You're looking at it because
listen though.
What the bills, what the wages is.
you're talking about being a single parent. I'm talking about somebody that's really trying to take care of their family.
I hear you, but what you're saying is that the wages that they pay for prison jobs is 45 cents an hour.
Exactly.
And that equals up to like $40 a month or some shit like that. So then the problem that you have is that you're trying to take care of your responsibilities with a job that can't do it. So what you need to do, you don't need to get that prison job. You need to find another way. Again, if you have obstacles on the street, suppose the job that you had on the street didn't pay enough to take care of your responsibilities. You wouldn't work that job anymore.
And here, everybody don't have the option to get stripped and figured out.
Show what's up, baby? Got the OG.
No, again, you looking at, hold on for a second.
Hold on, I got him. Now, I'm saying, go ahead, handle your business. I'll take care of this. But, you know, I'm gonna also, let me articulate a little better what he's trying to say. And what I'm saying from your perspective is, what you can't provide financially, you make up for mentally. You make up for spiritually. You still got to provide the kids with something.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, you talk about taking care of them financially. That sounds good, but everybody ain't capable of it.
No, everybody is capable of it.
Everybody is not capable of it. Because if everybody was capable of that, niggas are all being here, they wouldn't be broke because they was out there getting to the bag. Everybody here won't get into the bag.
When you say getting to the bag, what does that mean?
Whatever a nigga consider, everybody consider getting it back something different. This might be
when I get up and go to work at Walmart distribution, is that getting to the bag?
If you call that getting to the bag, I can't define to you what getting to the bag is. Rich to you, rich to me. That's it, man. That's all. Come on, you gotta get into the mic. Get into the mic, bro. You gotta get into the mic.
So the topic that we're talking about right now is when men get locked up, whose responsibility is it to continue to take care of the household, pay the bills, take care of the children, take care of the wife? Is it because the man is incapacitated from being in prison, is it the responsibility of the woman that lies on that? First, we're going to know exactly who we're talking about. So introduce yourself.
My name's Shogun. So you would have to start with the home. So, in other words, if you have the type of woman that's telling you, get out the street, you understand what I'm saying? Or, you get locked up, I don't know, I might not be able to do that, and you ignore her and you keep doing what you're doing and you get locked up.
Right.
She might move on.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? She might find another daddy for the kids. It could be one of them type of women.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, when you locked up, it's dependent on the mentality of the woman at home. So if you got the type of woman at home that's been telling you, stop, get out the street, and you keep doing it and go to jail, she might be the type to find her another man to take your place. You might lose your wife and your kids.
But specifically about how does the household continue to be provided for? Like, whose responsibility?
She find another man. and he provide for her.
So your take on it.
I'm just saying.
So then, I mean, from what I'm gathering from you, so you don't feel like we have any responsibility with it?
I didn't say that. I said my woman moved on. My woman got married. She got married, nigga bought a house and everything. So she don't look for me for nothing, but I take care of my daughter. But I wasn't always able to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So when I first got to prison, when I first got to prison, when I was on Red Onion, I was working in the kitchen. I was making $22 a month. That was just enough for me to get some soup, some crackers, and something. So it wasn't nothing I could do.
But at that point, we understand that you're not at that point now. But at the
That
point,
was 22 years ago.
so at that point, did you feel like you were missing? You weren't taking care of your responsibility.
No, I felt like I let my family down.
As a man should. So when we talk about whose responsibility, whose obligation is it, you would agree that it's still our obligation. Whether we do it or not, that's a completely different thing. But it's still our obligation.
You can't be obligated to do something that you can't do. So if you home, you obligated because you have every opportunity everybody else in the world got. You got the same 24 hours as the next man. When you come in here, they might not give you no job. So what you gonna do when they don't give you no job? I've been in here, they ain't gave me a job yet. So what I'm supposed to do? Choke somebody out, to take something, keep committing crime? What you gonna do?
In that situation, you find another way. Because like I was telling when you on the street and the job that you work doesn't pay enough to pay these bills, what do? Do you say, well, shit, I just can't pay it?
But you can't compare the streets to this. On the street, because on the streets you have opportunity.
We have opportunity now.
You don't have opportunity.
I don't agree with that.
What opportunity you got?
How many people have you seen?
No, I'm asking you. I ain't talking about what I've seen. I'm asking you what opportunity you have here.
I know a prisoner who still to this day runs his tech company. He's a multi-millionaire.
Where's the tech company located at?
I can't even.
It ain't in here.
Why does it have to be in here?
Listen.
So now we're talking about.
No, we always hold up. Listen to this. We always hold up. We always speaking about the average, man. I can start talking about people I know that own 20 houses that's locked up, but he's not the average person. We talking about the average.
We need to be average. So what
It ain't.
what if the average was people who are still stepping up and taking care of their
But that's not the average.
It can.
That happens. That does happen.
You're not dealing with reality.
But if you notice, part of what he said, I know a guy who still runs his tech company. The nigga came in with a tech company.
Right.
We talk about a regular nigga. Now, on top of that,
And
you have regular niggas who do still contribute to the household, but the problem, and the point we emphasizing, you were saying, are you still obligated to take care of kids? As a man, yeah, but from the standpoint of people understand when you locked up, what the fuck you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do? Ain't nobody expecting you to do nothing. So from the fact of the matter, any nigga that is doing financially, I ain't talking about mentally, I'm talking about financially, this nigga is one of the upper echelon niggas anyway. Because you're not expected to do nothing.
Let's first define what is a regular nigga.
A regular nigga
An
is...
average, man. An average person.
You want to be like the
You have 1 minute remaining.
Out of here right now, line them up. How many guys in that company gonna own the tech company? You understand what I'm saying? We dealing with reality, man. We dealing with reality. We not dealing. Ain't nobody here own no tech company. Ain't nobody here own 50 houses.
The reality.
When they put the paper up and they sign up for jobs, everybody signed up for that shit.
We're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna come right back.
I got it.
Thank you for using GTL.
So we still on this subject of whose responsibility is it to take care of the household when a man gets locked up? Is it the man's responsibility to continue to take care of those obligations financially, mentally, physically, whatever you have to do? Or is it the woman's responsibility now that we become incapacitated? So introduce yourself and let everybody know who we talking to.
We going government or we going ahead? Where we going? Yeah, going government name or we going?
Oh no, however you want to.
My name's Jamal. Yeah, nice to meet y'all. Nice to be here. As far as that subject goes, it's a gray area with that because it's still the man's responsibility to do certain things in that household. Like, I'm still supposed to make my presence felt. There's certain things that I might not be able to do, as in financially or disciplining to a certain extent. But it's still things that I can do and I'm obligated to do as the man of the house before I left.
What would those things be?
Supporting mentally. Still talking to my kids, still teaching them and giving them jewels, still guiding them through life, still picking their brain and helping them grow, making sure that they're on the right path and they're not making mistakes I made or veering off, period. I think those are the things that we definitely can control from in here, so those are the things that we are supposed to give back. And that a lot of men that come in here do try to better themselves, so if I'm one of them dudes that's bettering myself, it's definitely my job to give back to my kids and show them that growth so they might want to follow through and step their game up.
It feel like everybody's perspective is basically do whatever you can. Again, I go back to the same example that I've been giving the entire time. If we was on the street and we weren't taking care of all the obligations that we had to take care of because we didn't have a good job or we just didn't have the same opportunities as the next man, is that an excuse on the street?
Absolutely not.
So then, because if we know that it's not an excuse on the street, why is it an excuse now?
It's not an excuse now.
So then when we say, can we take care of our responsibilities financially? And you say, well, the job only pays me 45 cents an hour or this. There are ways that you can continue to make an income while you're in prison. And it doesn't have to be illegal. It doesn't have to be illegal. And you can continue to take care of your obligations. It's possible. So if the person doesn't choose to do it, whose fault is that? Is it the prison or is it?
No, that's all his fault.
It's completely his fault. And so when we look at whose responsibility is it, there can't be any like second answer to it, or if you look at it this way. At the end of the day, if a man is a man, he has a man's obligations and responsibilities, period. I don't put him on the moon or Mars. He has those responsibilities, period.
True indeed, but there's still certain things he can't do. Now, anything you can do, yes, you're obligated to do what you can as the man of that household. But if I can't do it because it's out of my grasp, then I just can't do it.
That's perspective, man, and that is the same thing. No question, and man has his limitations.
When you made that comment that no matter if it's a 45-cent job, it's still other ways and not illegal. Now we're gonna go back to this financial shit. You got a water bill, rent, cable, all this shit. So now, what examples of prison you can tell me right now, without doing nothing illegal, that you can make enough money a month to pay your rent and whatever else your kids need, school shoes and all that shit from inside of these walls if it's not illegal? Go on.
Well, I'm gonna say this from the standpoint of we're not saying necessarily contribute like on the same level coming to the table with your female, but contribute means do something. Every little bit count. Like if you gave up that $45 check one month and sent that home, I don't dispute that. I'm saying when you saying no, you're not gonna be able to contribute all across the board. But if you came off that $45 check one month, be like, here, babe, I know it ain't nothing, but here, you know what I mean? That would be contributing. It ain't gonna be nothing to the standpoint that'll make a dent from the standpoint of what the bills are, but you contributing. But again, that ain't for you to do. Like I said, if you can't contribute financially, mentally, you have to be there. You have to be that route. All right, we got DC in here. What you want to say, bro?
Well, I've been in prison 38 years.
Preach.
And I raised my daughter from prison, all my kids. I took care of financially and mentally. There's ways that we can make money here without selling drugs. Some of us have skills beyond selling drugs.
Give me an example. Okay.
Drones.
Exactly.
Making cars.
True. That's real hustle. That's real hustling. You didn't account for that. You didn't account for that.
I play hard hustling.
No question. That's real
I play
hustling.
poker. I do everything I can.
Gambling. And that's also in the legal category, because we ain't supposed to gamble or nothing here. But that's enough. That's hustling. You hustling. That's real hustling, though.
To take care of my daughter.
We ain't even get to that.
And my son.
You know, niggas running store boxes. Niggas running parlays. Running it up. Sending on them cash apps. It's definitely ways. If you're on that hustler's mentality. But again, you know, everybody that came to prison wasn't a hustler. Everybody's not in here for selling drugs.
True.
It's more niggas in here for petty shit and other dumb shit. You robbing a nigga to get high, you done killed the motherfucker. Nigga ain't even really a killer, but you got a murder charge.
Yeah.
Chasing some junkie shit. So to have that hustler's mentality, that's something different. Those is just, you know, the rare few.
Everybody on the street ain't no hustler.
No, they ain't. But let me tell you this. But hold on, pardon me. What we consider, when I'm talking hustle, we all criminals. So when we talking hustle, we talk about all those criminals. Motherfucker getting 3 and 4 jobs, that's a hustler. In their realm. But we criminals. When I'm talking about hustling, I'm talking about criminal type, gambling, store boxing. This all illegal shit we doing in here outside of getting a sack. Those is all hustles from a criminal mentality. But, you know what I mean? You don't agree with what? You don't agree with what? That is illegal in here. You get a charge in here for that.
That is why there's a whole difference between illegal and something that's against one of these.
And this what I'm talking about, the prison rule in here. I said it's illegal in here.
It's illegal to run a store box, but you can't buy things from commissary and resell them.
No question.
You can't even hold illegal in these prison rules.
This is what I'm talking about.
Let me finish first. It's illegal in these prison rules because they don't want us to do it. They don't want us to be able to provide for our families. But if you was on the street and you decided that you wanted to open up a bank and your profession was doing loans and having credit, is that illegal?
You said you wanted to open up a bank. You said if you was on the street and you wanted to open up a bank, you're going to have to go through legal measures to establish this bank. What you're talking about doing is loan sharks.
No,
that is illegal. That's illegal. Now we talk about in here. I said what is illegal in here. We ain't gonna get into the confines of why they say it's illegal in here. You can go to jail. You get a charge. You just don't see it nowadays because it's some shit they let go, bro.
The reason why I say that, it's significant to me saying that, is that you call those things hustles. You call those things illegal things. But that's normal on the street. Now, whether they have made it illegal because of the prison rules, that's something completely different. But doing that is something that is normal to do. Like, that's what a person would do. If a person on the street didn't have a criminal hustle, or a person on the street didn't have whatever you want to define as a hustle, that is a job that he can do.
What is the job? So you tell me what I can do.
What I just said. What I just said. Loaning money. Loaning money.
That's loan sharking. That's a crime.
I don't think you really understand what loan sharking is. Loan sharking is when.
Understand what the fuck loan sharking
is. All right. Well, tell me what loan sharking is.
Loaning people money on the street is loan sharking, bro. You can't. How is it how you making money from me? If you say you need $50 and I give you $50, how am I making money? You know what I do? I put interest on it. That's how I make money. That's loan sharking. What the fuck you thinking it is?
Loans you money.
Bro, you talking about a bank? You talking about a nigga starting up a bank, bro? Do you know the legal parameters you have to do to establish a bank?
I'm not disputing any of that.
All right, so what you talking about? You sitting here talking about a common man, which I told you, an average nigga in here don't have a diploma. You talking about he gonna start a bank because he's some hustler to take care of his family? Nigga don't even got a GD.
That's because you are the same. That's the reason why I asked you earlier. What do you consider a regular nigga? That's why you gotta let me finish what I'm saying. What do you consider a regular nigga? I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let you talk because you don't want anybody else to hear anything besides Marco. So let Marco speak. We only gonna sit here and listen to Marco.
Let me define a regular guy to you, all right? And then we can go to a regular guy on the street, right? No.
Oh, Marco, hold on. He don't want nobody to talk. Go ahead, Marco.
A regular guy on the street, right? Somebody goes to work every day and comes home. He accidentally might crash his car and get a murder charge. He's a regular Joe to us because we street dudes. He's not a street dude. He's a regular dude. When he come in here, he do regular shit to survive because he don't have the instinct that we have. That's a regular Joe.
When we start, it has kind of strayed from the subject. It has kind of strayed from the subject. But when we start talking about what a regular person is, we are considering ourselves as something other than regular.
I am other than regular. I'm not regular.
And that's the problem that we have been convinced that we are something other than regular.
I am. I can take something out of nothing and turn it into something. That is not regular.
No, that don't make you non-regular. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to be able to do that. Because they ain't regular. When you see people on the street, if you always stop speaking for a second, everybody wants to make their comments. But if you would stop speaking and listen sometimes, maybe you would hear the answer.
I want to hear what your definition of regular Joe is.
A regular person is whatever you want it to be. Just because you do something different than what the next person does, that don't make you abnormal. That means that you're doing it your way. But when what you're calling a regular Joe goes out there and says, "Hey, I got an idea. I want to start a bank." He's not exceptional. That don't make him non-regular. Why I can't do that? Why can't I do that?
Let me ask you a question.
Why is it when I want to do that, I'm doing something that's not regular?
My son says, I said, "What you up to, bro?" He say, "I'm hustling, bro." You hustling? I said, "What the fuck you mean you hustling?" I said, I raised you better than that. What do you mean? He said, no, I'm not selling no drugs. He said, I hustle. I said, what do you mean you hustle? He said, I wash cars. He said, I do other things. That's a hustle on the street. He can do 3 or 4 different things, and he's hustling. But it's
you can call it that. You can call it that. You're just using a nigga terminology. But
that's a regular joke.
If I wash cars for a living, if I want to wash cars, you can call that a hustle. But what about that person who has a car wash and he has all the machines in the drive-through set up? Is he hustling or is he working?
He was working.
So he's working when he does it. But when one of us do it, because we're not regular, it's called hustling.
No. My son don't own no car wash.
What difference do it make?
It makes a difference.
Because we niggas, we abnormal niggas that everything we do is a hustle.
Well,
we kind of got straight off the subject a little bit.
But we're going where the conversation leads us. And what you are not grasping is there are different realms operating simultaneously at the same time. You got the criminal world, you got the law-abiding citizen world, and you got all these other worlds. They go at the same time. Everybody doing the same thing. Now, somebody who gets 3 and 4 jobs to pay the bills, they are a hustler. And the reason why they're not like everybody else, because everybody else don't have the heart to put in that type of work. That's just like everybody else don't have the heart to, it's stupid to go into the streets, but it takes heart also. What the fuck
so, at the end of the day, we are discussing when men get locked up, whose responsibility is it to take care of the household, to continue to take care of the household? Is it a man's responsibility to continue to do those things despite this obstacle that's in front of us, or is it the woman's responsibility? We've heard these different perspectives, and maybe we'll never get to a real satisfied answer to that. So what we want...
It's not satisfactory to you.
What we want is for people to hear these different perspectives and give us our comments. Give us the comments. What do you think about this? And I know a lot of people out there have family members, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, kids that's locked up. And I want to hear those comments. I want to get a different take on what we're doing in here. So this has been our first episode of this new series that we're coming out with. It's called The Interview Room. Again, you just can hear the topics coming from real people that are doing real time with real thoughts. This has been The Interview Room.